Yes, we are back. We had only one man in our class. Yeah. So when parents say go out there and be the best, they also need to be they also need to play a role of being supportive and also being a catalyst. For instance, if you say I want to be a choreographer, they shouldn't frown upon it, but they should ask you what is that and how can we support you? How can we help you to be the best in that area? For us to really be completely free is only when our parents can come and support us and play their role as supporters and also guide us in what we want to do and in what we love to do. They shouldn't impose their own careers on us. Because, yeah, the youth in 1976, yeah, they fought for equality in education. Now we can go to varsities and all that, but still, the problem is in the house, in the family, ekaya. You are free to study whatever that you can study, but ekaya, that like, no, you can't study that.
Yeah.
In this family, zifuni doctor.
Just a bit into her face. Just a slight swing. There we go.
Straight into my face.
In your face. And I'm not gonna edit this part
Why?
because it's nice. We're Isiyalo. Lesego, we are back.
Yes, we are back.
How was the event you attended? I know you went to a college session thing.
Yeah, it was a workshop on leadership.
Nice.
So yeah, that was nice. I loved it.
What was the demographics in the leadership? Men versus women?
Where I was,
Yeah.
we had only one man in our class. Yeah,
Versus how many
disappointing.
ladies?
How many ladies? I think we were 7 or 8.
I think we need to be a bit more. I don't know. How can we be? Because maybe we always jump to what we need to do, and then we ended at that without steps. What do you think we could do, both in that environment or elsewhere? To, I mean, men are leaders, aren't they?
Maybe you should tell us what should we do to bring you guys into that space. You are right. Men are leaders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't been to that space yet.
Usabani.
I'm sorry. I just haven't been to. But I think I don't know what pulls. I think I need to really
No, but you
wrestle
once
with
you
that
once
thought.
told me what pulls men away from that space.
That space being church.
Yeah, which space are you talking about? The leadership or
Yeah, phela when you're
leadership
a
in church or
workshop,
just leadership in general?
I wasn't sure what leadership stuff you're okay. So
No, it
if
was
it's
not church
church,
stuff.
I
It
know
was
I
it
know
was
what
not.
pulls.
Well, the content was not really focusing on church, but yeah, it was just focusing on leadership in general. That leaders are risk takers. Leaders, they change people's lives.
Okay.
Yes, leaders are creative thinkers.
True. True. Because we need to be pioneering new ways.
Yes.
But if we are talking about church, I know I've been church almost all my life, and I know what drives men out. It's truth.
The truth.
Yeah. Um, Church leaders sugarcoat stuff on the pulpit, and the more they sugarcoat, the more men go away.
Okay.
That's I've tried to sum it up as much as I can. If you want men, this is not a church podcast, but if you are a church leader and you are a church pastor, stop sugarcoating the truth. Call spades spades, and you'll see men will flock in.
Okay, yeah, this is not a church
Yeah,
podcast,
into
so
in
let's
your
get
face. In your face.
let's get into it.
Yeah. Okay. It's men's
Mental
mental
Health Month.
health month. But we are still on the subject of our boy child. But I do think Uguti slightly between boy child and men. There's young men. There's people who are school leaving. Some are still in school. Some are tertiary, and some are finding their way in the workspace. And every time June for me has always been right at the dead center of June has been June 16. June 16 has
Youth
been,
Day.
yeah, it has been for me when it's my birthday today, but
Oh, happy birthday.
thank
Hebo.
you, thank you. I'm like,
Ancestral.
why we don't ask? So it's but I'm saying every time it's June, next to the fact that it's my birthday, it has always been like June 16 has been a focal point for me. Growing up as a young lad, June 16 has been it's been one of the most relevant celebrations in the whole year, where it's relevant in one way that it's Youth Day, and I mean we've been youth just until now recently, and recent being a couple of years ago, but still fine. Several years. But I think the point I'm driving at is Magu Youth Day. It's a point of reflection of where the country comes from, a point of reflection where men come from, where boys come from, where students come from.
Students, yeah.
Yeah, so it's for me now, growing up, it's been a thing of saying the student has evolved from being revolutionists to being beneficiaries of a new world. And I think we're never prepared for that, or we're poorly prepared for that evolution. It's always been said, now you are free, now you are free. I'm like, okay, so what do we do with the freedom? I know we are free. And from what I see on TV, Viable, Sarafina, Viable, was it Molofish? What are the other productions that we've seen?
Yeah, Molofish.
Yeah, many. There are many. It's just that I am eluder right now. But what we have seen is that, the times before used to be not like these times. So what has changed is that we are now being told that we have more opportunities. And it actually, in the face of it, seems that we have more opportunities. In fact, we do. But what do we do with them? And I just wanted to hear from Wayne what June 16 means, and what does it mean to you?
Sure. Nobody's ever asked me that question. What does June 16 mean to me? It means freedom from, because I know that at that time they were protesting against being taught with the Afrikaans language.
Yeah, being a medium of instruction.
Yes, being
they
a
were
medium of
resisting that.
instruction. Yes. I don't know if they were also fighting for other opportunities.
Yeah, I think to put it right is that the fighting against Africans to being a medium of instruction, it was in my view, and I don't know. I mean, is that it's possibly like one of those last straws where before Afrikaans play there was English, there's Sakhuluma ngayo manje, and before that then there's inequality. There's the
Yes.
standard of education being already in the dumps. There's a lack of opportunities. I mean, you can be a doctor, a lawyer, and what else could you be? A teacher, a
Teacher, social
policeman,
worker,
maybe.
policeman.
But there are many other opportunities like production, for instance. Production was very limited, very controlled. We couldn't just sit like this and create something without it needing being screened, and not just content production but also even industrial production. Manje sesikwazi ukukhipha ama-chili sauce from a backyard. Back then
Yes.
you are a black man, you can't do that. And so I think the medium of instruction was like, okay, it's right there. And I mean, I'm sure it's more complex when it comes to other stuff, like but yeah, I was just adding more context into that. But reflecting now, I mean, what does it mean to you? I mean,
Okay, reflecting now, it means freedom to study whatever that I want to study, freedom to express myself as a young person, and also to not be afraid of not be afraid of talking about issues that we as the youth face, and also not being afraid of coming up with solutions for whatever issues that we as the youth face. So yeah, freedom of education, freedom of studying whatever that I want to study, freedom of just expressing myself without any fear as a young person.
but how practical is that for the youth right now? For a kasi i-outer sekasi nje ekhule esikolweni, how practical is them being able to express themselves without any fear? What? Because I'm thinking, and I might be reflecting too much on my life, but it's like so free, man, to be the best you can become in the context of what your parent believes is the best, not in who you think is the best. I think I'm trying to drive the point to Uti. I feel as if anyone grew up the way I grew up, part of the message of go out and be the best has it already has in it enclosed and packaged around what your father and mother think is the best.
I get you. Oh, that's a tough one, Joe.
I'm
Your parents tell you to go and be the best,
Yeah.
right? And you don't know what what that is. Or
Or maybe you do. I'm talking from. I don't think there's a young man or particularly young man who does not know what they want or what they love. At least even if they don't know what they want to become, they surely know what they love.
yeah, yeah.
And I'm thinking of situations. Live situations right now. Someone saying, I just want to be a choreographer." What? What is that? Choreography. Choreography has no. What if you don't get gigs? What if and so immediately there's no freedom of being of expression. I mean, we're fighting for freedom of expression. I mean, that's what June 16 is almost about. If you sum it up, as a young child, I know Utabazali, they were fighting for more because they knew more. But maybe for the young ones, it was freedom to be free, right? And whatever that meant. So now we are free.
But we are not free.
But
Is
we are
that
not
what you're
free.
saying?
Yeah. I mean, we're about the family here.
Obviously, when parents say go out there and be the best, it is obviously gonna put some pressure on you.
Yeah.
So when parents say go out there and be the best, they also need to they also need to play a role of being supportive and also being a catalyst. For instance, if you say, I want to be a choreographer, they shouldn't frown upon it, but they should ask you, what is that? What is choreograph? And how can we support you? How can we help you to be the best in that area? So, yeah, I think for us to really be completely free is only when our parents can come and support us and play their role as supporters and also guide us in what we want to do and in what we love to do. They shouldn't impose their own careers on us, you know. I remember I had this co-worker of mine who came to my office and he was like, I'm so worried about my son. I was like, okay, what's happening with your son? And he's doing well. He's got A in mathematics, in physics, and he says he wants to be a teacher. I mean, why not actual science? Why not doctor? But I said, maybe that's what he likes.
Yes.
I like, no. He's not going to earn a lot of money. Yeah, then he started talking negative about teachers. But yeah, I think another thing as parents, we have a problem of wanting to brag. I study social work, right? But I don't think my father was 100% happy with my choice. Because I remember in 2012, I graduated in 2012, and then I was not working at the time. Then out of nowhere, my father came. Okay, he went to town in Polokwane. So when he came back with a business card.
Yeah.
So the business card is some lady. She did environmental science or safety and environment something.
Okay.
Safety, health, and environment.
Yeah.
Safety, health, and environment. So he's like, Gonna, I met this lady. She said she studied safety, health, and environment. She's got a business, is doing well. Maybe you should, call her and ask her about the course that she did.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, now I get it. Maybe he wanted me to be a doctor. I don't know.
I just there's two things I'm picking up from that. Maybe we can start with one. The first is the freedom to be able to have those discussions between parent
With our parents.
and child, yeah, or young person. The freedom to have those discussions and be actually able, like, to freely express and maybe even negotiate, if that's a thing, which we shouldn't be. But I'm just saying that maybe if we were able to have that freedom, we could even said, Marababa, angiyithandi nje leyo nto, that's one. But I don't know. But the second one, ihamba la, I really wanted us to walk in. Let's speak to this gap that we're talking about between parent and child. So the parent is saying teaching is not paying enough, is not prestige enough. But the reality right now is we have, and please, Department of Education, I'm not trying to shoot nobody, but we do have maybe I'm praying it's a very, 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 very small percentage of horrible teachers who are teachers who are miserable in what they are doing. And it does filter down to the child. I was in high school, I knew those teachers. I knew the teachers who couldn't come to work sober because they hated the job. And I'm not saying bebe baningi, but they were, and in contrast to that, then you had a very, very few that loved it. And because they loved it, we passed their subjects. It wasn't about money for those who loved it. And reflecting now to the few that I can count that who really did love this thing, most of them have retired into writing. One I know, one is an author right now, and he's doing good. Some, and I know one who, even at the time of teaching me, which is definitely about 20 years or more ago, had at that time a few businesses, and they didn't need to come and teach us, right? So when someone does something they love, it stops being a job.
Yeah.
And if it stops being a job, then it becomes a way of living and a being, and a state of being. And so then I think there's a gap between parent and child. I think, I don't know. I'm just trying to figure it out, and that's why I called you to figure it out. What is the issue? What are we really facing? Because now, instead of me finding extreme positives of what my child wants, it's almost as if I really want them to do what I want them to do, or in the ranges of what I want them to do. And if they don't, then they are not doing enough.
Some parents, I think, because maybe they failed in life, or maybe because they didn't do what they wanted to do. So now it's like they want to achieve whatever that they wanted to achieve back then through their children. Their parents, you hear them saying, "Well, I wanted to be a doctor, but then I couldn't because I have to go and work at a very young age." And then now you want, because you always wanted a doctor in the family.
And because it's apartheid.
Yes. So now you want your child to be that, so that you can satisfy the desire that you had through umntwana wako. Yeah.
I wonder how it would look.
And sometimes I think it's also, sorry to interject, and I think sometimes maybe is the lack of understanding what parenting is. I think sometimes we think we own these children. So because I own you, you're going to do whatever that I want you to do. Because I pay fees for you, you're going to study what I want you to study. Yes.
It's crazy. It seems like yes, maybe there might have been freedom coming in, but it almost seems as if there's a certain type of freedom that we didn't foresee that we needed to fight for. Yeah, we got free outside, but I don't think. I think
We are still in bondage.
I think we're still in bondage mentally.
Yeah, we are.
And so I think it was bothering me in my heart, and that's why I called you here. I know you didn't want to come. Man, what can we do? What can a young man do caught in a situation where the parent is not supporting their hustle or what they want to do?
Sure, that's a tough one.
That's why we're here. We need to help.
Yo, having parents who are not supporting your hustle, I mean, if you don't get support from your parents, then who are you going to get support from? Maybe friends.
Hey, that can
But
go wrong. Eh?
it can go wrong, ne? Jealousy, yo.
But I think sometimes it's not even jealous. I think sometimes it's just the blind leading the blind.
And the thing with parents is that you need them to support you financially. They may not understand what you're trying to do, but at least if they've got the finances, they should just believe in you and be like, okay, you want to do this. I don't understand it. I don't support it, but I'm not going to withhold funds from helping you. So maybe it should start with parents, because for a young man to be in that situation is definitely going to be hard. He may end up losing faith in himself, end up being depressed, because if you're not doing what you love, chances are you're going to feel like you're not that useful here in the world, and then that's where depression comes in. Yeah.
And I can imagine going into varsity to study something you're not even confident about.
It's just a waste of time.
What about the anxiety
Definitely.
every day?
Yes.
That's what June 16 represented in my head.
Okay.
The complexities, the complex situation of how do I navigate between what I love and what my parents want me to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, now I get it when you say we are still not free. Because, yeah, the youth in 1976, yeah, they fought for equality in education. Now we can go to varsities and all that, but still, the problem is in the house, in the family, ekaya.
Yeah,
You are free to study whatever that you can study, but ekaya, they're like, no,
yeah,
you can't study that.
yeah.
In this family, sifuni doctor.
Singapore family, family, I'm a doctor.
Yes.